Hello viewers, you're welcome to this amazing show, Time Out with Esther, and I'm your host. So in this show, we'll be talking about different interesting, juicy topics, giving all the trending gists. Trust me, it's a top notch. You don't want to miss it. And here we get to share life experiences. We all know, you all my gist lovers, you know what I'm talking about. And also, we're here to share people's life experiences. We get to talk about people's stories. People share their views, seek advice and counsel from people, our viewers, get to share their own view and contributions on most of the life experiences that people face every day. Come and chill with me, come and have a time out with me. Let's discuss things that actually benefit everybody, to help people that are actually dying in silence, people that have experiences they can't share. You're welcome to Time Out with XTER. And we are having our very first episode today. And I have with me here my two beautiful co-hosts, Gift and Cynthia. And also, my lovely viewers, you're also welcome to join us and get educated on this very topic, because we're going to be talking about early marriage on today's episode. And whatever your experience or whatever take you have on this topic, you're welcome to go to our comment section and air your views, write down your experiences. Don't worry about it, you're going to be anonymous. Nobody's calling your name or making any reference to you or whatever. We're just here to share our stories and also educate people at home and wherever you are on early marriage and the effects of it in our society today. So I'm going to start with our very first beautiful co-host, Gift.
I feel like getting married in general is a good thing. And I feel if you get married early, it's really good. You can still get married late, but I feel like if you get married early, it's still good. Why I'm saying that is that, you know, you don't really know how it is until you get to a particular stage in life. So when you are 18, 19, 20, 21, because you know sometimes we finish school we graduate very early, and then some people when they are 21, you see they want to get married, or they get married, or when they are 20 they get married, or some people rather when they are out of secondary school they get married. So it might look rather that, oh, she's not going to get to go to school, she won't get any experience, she's not going to do what her fellow peers are doing, you know, all those mentality. And then you see that they'll probably feel ashamed or something, they don't want to really talk about it and all. But to me, I actually feel it's really good, because before you get to 30, I'm sure you would have like had all your kids, probably 3 or 4, and then you grew up with them. So when you get to maybe 35 or less, you see that you are growing younger and you are growing with your kids. At first, it might look like it's not a good thing, but when you see it in the later future or in the longer run, you see that it's really good. And when it comes to like in the negative side, I feel like if a child is being forced to get married when the child doesn't want to, that's where the whole abuse comes in, you know, the whole PTSD and all those other stuff, and suicide, you know, and just all those negative things. I feel that's where it all comes to. But in general, to me, I feel like if you see someone that wants to get married to you when you are still very young, probably when you are 20, 21 or so, you are free to get married. So you don't really look at the whole, you want to have the whole experience, because at longer run you still get the whole experience while still enjoying your marriage, you understand? But if you are being forced to get married when you don't want to, then that's where the problem comes in. But if you want to look at the whole society thing, like your peers, they are saying like don't get married,
like the age bracket between, if somebody is 18, the person is willing to get married, you cannot call that one early marriage, because she willingly made the decisions to want to. But early marriage, I feel early marriage is like between the ages of 14 to 16. That's what I would say, personally. And then between these ages, the children don't have a say to say if they want to get married or if they don't want to get married. Their parents put them out in that situation. So me, in general, I'm totally against it. I don't like early marriage for nothing. So in Nigeria, yeah, I'm not pointing out any, I'm not trying to be tribalist, or I'm not trying to bring tribe into this, but we know, we ourselves, we know the culture that digs deep into it. They don't even care at all. So for me, yeah, I would say early marriage is not good because first of all, the children are not exposed. They don't know how to, they are not mentally exposed to it, they are not ready for it. Sometimes their parents just say, and another thing again is culture. You understand? Culture is amongst it. Religion is among it. And those children, they are not exposed to anything. You see a 13-year-old girl, you say, oh, you want to put her up for marriage. What does she know about marriage? There are even 25-year-old people that are inside marriage are still trying to figure out what they are doing inside there. So who's putting a 13-year-old child into it? And she's exposed to diseases, exposed to different kind of things, you understand? So there's no way. There are people that are actually in need, they are in need for it, or they want to have plenty female children because they know that, if I have plenty children or plenty female children, I'll give it to a chief, something, I'll give it to a large, something, and I'll get it in exchange for things, you understand? They do it for favor. You understand? They do it for favor. Do you understand? So in that case, that child is traumatized for the rest of her life. Even if she starts giving birth at the age of 16, and like Keith said that when you get married early and then you start, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, yeah? Like in our generation, I would see young girls of 18, 19 getting married and they hold their own very well, and you understand? They start giving birth early and then they grow up with their children and everything. But in most cases, their dreams are cut short. The time they're supposed to be using to study, they're taking it to nurture their children, taking it to take care of their own, their husband and everything. When they are 30, the children is already entering uni, you have so many things to do. Now you don't have time to even go back to your books. For some people, it works out for them. For some people, their future just ends at that point.
Getting married early is a good thing. Now, in the sense that normally we feel, okay, the age to get married, like properly, that they will look at it like, okay, you're mature enough, like probably from 22, 23.
Yeah.
Though, but
even the 22,
so we see, looking at our generation now, at the age of 22, everybody's wise.
Exactly.
You understand? There's something I could pick out. There's something called betrothment. I think they still do it.
Yeah, they still do it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. When they give birth to the child, normally when they give birth to the child, they already have a contract. Yeah, they already have a contract that this is going to be your wife. You understand? So the husband to be would start giving the family monthly stipends continually, to nurture the child until the child is up to.
Sometimes I don't be about nurturing the child. Sometimes maybe the father owe this particular person something.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Or it may even be due to poverty, because when you don't have money and you see somebody that wants to take care of your family, the only exception would be to give me your child. Do you understand? And then when they do that, that's where the monthly stipends comes in, because from maybe when the child is they would say when the child is like 14 years. You give me the child. When the child is 16 years, you give me the child. So imagine imagine the man or the husband to be giving them monthly stipends for 16 years. That's like a huge debt. And we are not. And sometimes we cannot even say how much it is. We cannot say it's like 100,000, or that. And sometimes there might be food involved. There might be food involved. So you cannot actually say. Why this is really happening. So I feel like most times it's like the parents' fault. It's not even most times, it's the parents' fault, you understand? Because when you put poverty mentality into bringing up your child from the onset, you just traumatize the child for the rest of your life, and it might even end worse, the child being suicidal, or worse, even killing herself.
Or even contracting disease. And again, Give talked about debt and everything, and then maybe you've sworn something that, when my child gets to this age, I'll give my child to you. Me, I'm not looking at it at that aspect. Me, I'm saying that culture is part of it. religion is part of it. There's some culture that, oh, if your child reaches 13 years of age, she's supposed to
Yeah,
go out.
she can get married.
And then if you now say that, oh, mommy, I don't want to get married at this age, I want to study and everything, they will think maybe, mother will say, no, you want me to be the laughing stock of the village, you know. They're giving the child out at that point. She doesn't even know anything about marriage, you understand? See, early marriage is different things to different people, you understand?
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like if that child is going out, there's some certain things that have to be done in their culture. Do you understand? They'll tell you, oh, they will take her to this place, they will bath her, they will tell her this, she will do this, or when she gives birth, you know, that child is exposed to different things. Most of them even die in the process of giving birth because their bodies don't yet developed.
Yeah.
So are you giving them out for marriage? Me, I'll still put my ground, both religion-wise, both tribal-wise, and every other, maybe debt or any other. There are so many ways you can pay back your debt. You don't have to put up your child for marriage because you want to pay debt and, you know, other things like that.
You know, you talked about culture. So I had not really a friend, let's just say an acquaintance back then in school. I didn't really know her, but I figured her parents like they were very wealthy because of the way she carries herself and all. So we had this pageantry in school.
Okay.
So we started talking about personal life, yes, all your experiences and all.
Yeah.
So she voiced out something that, oh, she's a twin, and I'm like, you're a twin? So she said something like her twin sister is married with kids, but she is not, that her parents like actually forced her to get married. And so because she was very, like, she's a very stubborn person,
Yeah.
so she was like going to clubs, disgracing them, doing all those things. So her mom is the quiet type. So her mom was like, please do you want to give me a heart attack? Do you want to do this? So every Friday like this, before they will even do jack, she has gone out. She will just fly first, go out, she will go and party with her friends, she will do this, she will do that. I don't know if she takes drugs and all those things, but you know, rich people, you never can tell. So she now told her mom that she doesn't want to get married. She wants to go to school. She wants to experience that. She wants to experience that university life. She wants to have a boyfriend. She wants to break up. She wants to have another boyfriend. She wants to enjoy all those things that she sees. You understand? Not just hear about it, and then. But her sister is the married. You know, people are different. Her sister is the whole housewife. Her sister was ready to get, and I feel her sister even got married underage. So her sister was ready, prepared, you understand, to get married. I don't know how they did it, but the sister was willing to. Do you understand? Okay. So the sister got married and had kids. So she now came to school. Before then she was like, when she wants to go to club, because her parents knew she was hiding, so they had to hire bodyguards for her. So they would take her to, so she doesn't need to hide going to club anymore. She will follow the front door, they will take her to club, they will bring her home by 2. You understand? So let's say understanding, to even give her space to do whatever she wants to do. And then once it's time, once you are probably 21, 22, yes, very early. The sister got married very early, and the sister is happy.
Yeah,
you understand? Chill. So like she finished the whole school thing. After like few months, she got married. Do you understand? Even if it's not really what she actually wanted to do, but the fact that they allowed her to live her life, to do whatever she wanted to do. I don't think there's anything bad about that.
Like, you know, okay, fine, they are rich, you won't say poverty.
Yeah.
So I think it's religion and our culture, rather. Let's just use the culture. So for the child to like want to explore, the mother knows in her mind that it's true, and this kind of child that even against our will, she does all those things. There's nothing you just try. Now, well, this whole thing, I feel, because I know most parts of Nigeria, especially I don't know how to call them, the interior parts, most of them don't believe in girl education.
Yeah.
They don't take them to school. So they feel education now expose them to what they don't want them to know. So that whatever they just tell them, okay, you are getting married to this man.
So what
then
does marriage not do for them? Does marriage expose them?
I think
Marriage makes them more
More
superior.
No, they won't feel maybe marriage make them more mature enough, or they can grow into marriage and become a good woman, the woman they want.
You know, because they feel like women are supposed to be in the kitchen, they're supposed to be cleaning, they're supposed to be taking care of kids.
I feel like early marriage doesn't just work for anybody. Like you said the story, there's a particular story very similar but in another way. I saw it was in a movie. It was based on a true life story. There's this young girl, I think it's Yoruba, at the outside girl, I can't remember what tribe of the movie. But then there was this young girl, she really wanted to go to school, she watches movies, she sees them, doctor, nurses, you know, so she tells her mom every time, she was like, I think 10 years or 11 years old, she tells her mom that, mom, I want to get this clothes, I want to do this one. So anytime she says that, her mom just shuts her up, you know.
Okay.
Do you understand? Anytime she says that, her mom just shuts her up, her mom, she has 2 older brothers, her mom, they only focus on the brothers, they leave her. So there's this particular man that comes to the house and see them, and she sees that man as her uncle. She goes there and greets, oh uncle, welcome. The man does everything, you know, not knowing that. Do you understand? This is the person that's supposed to get you married to you at a particular time in your life. So that was the time that was already like right for him to come around. This one is like very older than this girl. So the girl, every time she would tell her mom that if she's going to the market, she'll tell her mom, see, don't worry, I will become a doctor, I will do this, I know all these things. Her mom was, how did you find out about this thing? She told her mother that I have friends that used to go to school, so I used to, because of that, they did not take her to school because of that thing. They didn't want her to get exposed, like what Gift said. She didn't know, she could not keep friends, but she had some few friends that comes around. So she got really into it. She was still asking her, why do you not want me to go to school? Her mother would say, don't worry, school is for this, school is for that. If you go to school, you'll not get married in this life, you don't have any children. She would tell her mother that, but people that used to watch on TV, they wear ring and they are successful. I want to be like that. Mother would say, no, in this part of this is where you are from, and this part of our culture, this part of the country, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get married at this age, you're supposed to have children, nurture your children, take care of your husband. And then she gets confused every time that why is her mother talking about marriage every day? She's just 11. So one day her brother now came back with a boss, like a new boss, and then her mom was excited, everybody was shouting like, I will got it for you. She now said that it was allergic, something. And then the girl was like, uncle is so nice. So the parents knew what was happening, you understand? That was the time is almost right, because the agreement was when he's ready to pick the girl, he will settle either of the brothers. And the other one is in school, the other one is just out of school and doesn't have a business. So they wanted him to start doing transport business.
So basically,
so they came, they took the girl out, they did all the culture and everything. And the girl was confused and like, what's happening? Her mother still did not say anything to her. She got there, and then when she got to the house, everyone was, the man in question had children that were even up to him. Like up to herself, like age-wise and height-wise. She was looking at them and looking at herself. They would go to school and come back. She would cry, she would ask the man that, why am I not going to school, uncle? The man told her that, I'm not your uncle, I'm your husband. And they started crying, she was screaming that, why would you do that to me? You understand? So in that same house, there's another lady that locked herself up. Like every time she locks her, they put food around the door and everything. She smells like that kind of thing. So I'm going to cut the long story short. So the other lady that was locked in the room got married very early, at the age of 13, and started giving birth immediately. And then she had complications because they couldn't take her to hospital. She started smelling, so they locked her up. And then when the lady told her the story, she was like, she doesn't want her life to end up like this, you understand that? She wants to go to school, she doesn't want to be locked. The man has 4 wives, including her. And then the first wife, they got married to her early age, but she's perfect. So what works for A might not work for B. Even twins, they don't have the same destiny, you know. So the girl was like, I don't want to end up like this, mommy. So I want to go to school. I want to get education. I want to have my kids. I want to achieve things in life. I don't want to be locked up in one room smelling, you know. And then the day she tried to escape, the man came in and then took advantage of her and everything. She bled and she died. So when they took her body back home, the mother was now crying that my daughter wanted to do this. I would have allowed, I would have worked her to pay this man off, and then, you know, so most of them don't feel the regret until something bad happens. Do you understand? So whether he works for mama, this person, and doesn't work for mama, doesn't mean it will work for you. So early marriage is totally bad. Whether you're of age or you're not, you have to get to a certain level to say, okay, this thing I want to go into it by myself. Until that child is old enough, see the Western world now. Once he's 18, you're old enough to make your decision. So if you get married at 18, it's your own decision. You know how to go from left to right. You know the decisions to make. You know when it's time to see your period and it's not coming out. You know what the things to do because you are 18. You have some ideas. You can talk to your husband. You can go out. You have friends because you are 18. You can make your own decision. But at 16, 17, I'm not saying you don't know what, but at that point, you know, I am capable of what decision I make, whatever my life turns out to be. Let me take it. It's my blame. I'm 18 and I can't. You see, most parents, once the children is 18, they just leave them in the Western world because they know that at this point I cannot lock them up again.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Even at 16, they're already so.
They are already exposed,
yes,
and
yes.
it's until you are 18 before you start making decisions for yourself. So I feel like at the age of 18, as long as, even if you're as big as this and you're 16, I still see you as a child, because once you are that age, I know that okay, you can make decisions. Anything that comes out of it, you have yourself to be blamed. You understand? But from 16 down to 10, your parents are supposed to be catering for your needs and everything. What do you want to go and do in your? What do you know that is that? What is marriage?
Exactly.
Even people that are 30, they are still struggling to find their fitting in marriage, and you are entering it.
Well, what you are saying is, you know, this is not even the children's fault, because this is their parents'
That's
fault.
what I'm saying. That until you are 18, that's what I'm saying. As long as you're not 18, it's child marriage. Whether the girl is 16 and she's, like you said, that one got married and she got, and the marriage was well to do and everything, she was okay. As long as she's not 18, I don't find that marriage comfortable. For me, you understand?
Yeah.
I feel like she has to be 18 for her to make her own decision.
Yeah, Cynthia, from what you said, actually, I think I could get 1 or 2 points, because, like you said, in the Western world, 18, you're free to do what you want to.
Whatever decisions you want to
To me, I feel this whole early marriage thing, I feel marriage should just be a self-decision. It should not be something
when you are ready.
It should be marriage. I feel like marriage should be two adults that know what they are doing, not children.
Yeah,
that's why you see the rate of divorce coming out. You see the 17 talking about marriage.
Let's just say this whole marriage thing. I think it has to do with your mental state.
Yeah, it has to do with your
Number
mental
one,
state.
because even adults get married and
you see them divorcing.
yes.
Why?
Going
Because
separate
got
ways.
married and then
Probably they're not even
divorcing as-
fitting in.
Yeah.
And if you check, it will be one little thing or the other, because everybody wants to be on top. Everyone wants that. You cannot, because I'm into this marriage, you cannot tell me what to. Now, imagine not bringing in young children that are not even up to. Like, okay, in the Western world now, you're 18, your parents, some of them, they send their children out, they rent an apartment for them, that you're free to live on your own. At that point, even if they call and say, Mom, Dad, I want to get married, they were like, are you sure? Obviously, a mother that is actually very considerate to their kid, my child, do you think is violent? You understand? That's the difference. And now she's the one bringing the marriage thing by herself.
That's why you see them at 35, they're already divorced 4 times.
And I guess they really don't see this whole divorce thing
As a big deal.
Yeah, as a big deal. But
If you marry right and you marry correctly,
I don't
what
think this divorce thing, and to an extent, I don't think they have that patience or tolerance.
Who has patience and tolerance?
I feel like people
I don't
just
know,
take
that
marriage
big that
In
is
general,
people
people
take
take
it
marriage
as
as
a
a joke.
I like you
Because
like
even
me.
because
let's just get married.
I know
even
you love
older
to get
people,
married.
even people of 35, 40, they get married and in less than 1 year they are divorced. They don't want to take responsibility of their actions. Or
And mind you, you can get a 12-year-old child can get married and then she's fine and well to do. But if you interview a 12-year-old child, if you interview a 30-year-old woman that is sitting down here, like take for instance now, Gift is married, but she got married at the age of 12. She will give you an experience. She will tell you, I wish I knew these things.
Yes,
And
exactly.
they will always have
They will have something to say.
Yeah.
You understand? Because most of them, it was not their decision. They might like it. At the end of the day, I got married early, I'm 30, my firstborn is 15.
Yeah, they will always
They will
have
say
regret.
it's pride, but sit them down and ask them questions. Most of them are suffering from internal issues. Because they are not yet there. So there's no how you paint it. If you say early marriage is good, you have your children and you have your children and you'll be fine. Like, no, they have battles they are fighting.
As long as it's underage,
It's a no-no.
It's a no-no. Because I don't see how, no matter how you want to paint it or try to bring all the good things that might come around from it, probably you mature inside the marriage. Because I feel some of them, they feel okay when their child gets married early, she will learn in the marriage.
Some people, I'm not getting wrong though. Some people
think.
come to your comment section now. You receive messages and saying that no, I support early marriage. You see people fighting on your comment section. You get different kind of messages.
Different views.
You understand? Coming out to say, oh, this is our opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I will say it. If you like come on with Esther's YouTube channel and come and fight Cynthia or come and fight Big, I will tell you that early marriage is wrong. I'm not in support of it. I know some people come and blast me, but me, I'm not.
Most people would, most times, most people will say, what am I using the experience for? What has it got, like, what has experience gotten so person to? Do you understand? So some people did, you know, like you said, everybody have different destiny.
Yes.
So you might be a very fun type, and me, I might be a very uptight. Yeah, just want to. And some people that right from when they are like 18 or 16, they've already planned their life. So I want to go to school. I want to finish at the age of 22. I want to get married at the age of 23. Do you understand? Yeah. So they tend to do all the experience they want to do at that age range until they get to that 23, and then it works for them perfectly. They will just get married and they continue with their life. And some people, they will still plan. They will still reach 30. They are still planning. Do you understand? Yeah, they will still reach 30 and they are still planning. Experience goes on and on and on. So some people don't really look at the experience part as a big deal. Not like you that have so many aspirations, so many ambitions. You want to get this, you want to travel the world, you want to be adventurous, you want to. No, it's not everybody that have that adventurous. It's not everybody that wants to live that outdoor life. Some people are bent on just finishing school and getting married. Straight, like that's all they think of.
Yes.
They're just, and some people, they have this boyfriend that is a little bit older than them back in school, and then when they are done, you know, it's like a first thing. Even if you don't really say it, but you would know. You understand that, oh, this person has been together for 5 years and he's clocking 35 and I'm maybe 23. Oh, I don't really want to get married. And so people will tell you, you just do it. You've been with this guy for a long time, you understand? And then you just enter. Not mentally. You know him, yeah, but you're not ready. What I'm trying to say is, once you know you are ready, whether you are 22, whether you are 23, whether you are 100, as long as you know you are ready to get married, go for it. If you, sometimes when we tend to prolong, I've not seen this, I've not seen that, I've not seen this, I've not seen that. That's why they say you have to know your spouse. I'm not talking about your parents finding somebody for you to get married to. No, okay. I'm talking about once you know your spouse, you know somebody that you like. Somebody you are getting married to. Whether you have PhD or not, whether you have a master's degree or not, whether you are done with school or not. If you know that this person I'm going to get married to, I'm still going to further my education. This life that I want to see, this thing I want to see in America, I'm still going to see it. That I want to do, I'm still going to do it. Why do you want to wait to do all those things before you get married? Do you understand? So I feel like once you know your spouse, or you feel that you are 100% ready. In fact, nobody is 100% ready in marriage. But once you feel that this is it, you can go. I
just feel probably you're comfortable. Like,
you are comfortable. I think I want to, because even at childbirth, nobody is prepared. Yes, nobody is prepared at childbirth. Nobody is prepared. Even people that have actually like written their whole life inside a book. Once that time reach, they start having a nervous breakdown. You don't really know. Yeah, you don't really know until you get into it, and you don't really know if you don't get into it, right? Yeah. So I feel like if you are not the adventurous type, you know your head is not to sit at home. Please, you can do whatever you want to do. But if you want to get married, even some men, they might be 35 and they're not even ready to get married, and their girlfriend or their fiancé is 23 and she is ready, she wants to, everybody has their own different things. But I feel like once you know in your heart that you are ready to get married, whether you are young, not underage, but whether you are young or not, you should go for it.
But the whole idea about this whole early marriage is just this underage thing, forcing children to do what they don't want.
I think that's why there should be a law. There should be a law.
There are regulations that they are not.
Why don't think people follow it? Because people feel. I think there's one thing.
What I mean by law, I mean like they should have okay, like you know, in America and other parts of the world, they have this child support. Once you have kids, if you are not able to take care of a kid, they will take your kids away from you.
See, let me tell you something.
And give it to somebody that wants to. So I feel like if you abuse your child, because if you sell your child out underage, you are abusing that child. If you sell your child out, it's an abuse. It should be marked as an abuse, and that's yeah. And those parents
wait, should be. Do you think Nigeria doesn't have a regulation that states that?
If they do, have you seen it?
Actually, they do. There's a regulation that states all these things. But who will come outside and say, okay, I want to pull you out of
We all know how our country is.
That's what I'm saying, that they should always be like, they should have like a public.
There's something you
lawyer.
shouldn't take note of. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. There's something you guys should take note. You know, the government, let me just say, the law does not have. If you notice, people really, the law does not interfere with anything concerning tradition. I don't know
exactly
if you've noticed something like that.
Nigeria is so full of traditions and.
They will tell you that it is their child and it's none of your business.
That's one thing I know about
movies have gone out. There are regulations that state it. There are human rights activists fighting against it. No, say no to early marriage.
But yet, I don't think there's any change.
You can see a 17-year-old
I think it's a problem that Nigeria has. Let me just say, because I've noticed several government officials.
I don't even think it's Nigeria, so I think it's
Africa in general.
But you know, I've seen in China, where every year, this might sound very funny. Every year, it's like you know, when you have Christmas, New Year, and all those things. Then they have this. Once you are like 15, 16,
they have a celebration.
They have the celebration that all the old young girls.
I don't think they are really against. I think they are
all the young, all the children,
16,
15, 16. I think 15. 14, 15, 16.
Like
they'll come out, yes, to dress up for the whole year. They'll be preparing their whole, not them, the girls by themselves, will be preparing themselves. Like they'll be making their attire, their crown or whatever they put on their head. Everything, they'll be preparing for it. And then once it's that season, they have younger boys from 18. 19, 20, or no, 18, and just young adults. They are all young adults. They will come out, so the girls will be parading with their whole this and that. They carry, yeah, they'll even put on others their makeup. They'll be walking around. The guys will now be somewhere. They'll be watching. They'll be looking at their wives, whispering. So this one, if you now say sister that I like, you say it to your parents that it's sister, that one, I think she's the one that every other person now will leave that one for you because you've already made your choice. They will be looking at other people. Now, so, the guy now will now go. China.
Are you sure it's China or India?
It's China. They will now go. The young boy will now go and talk to the girl like that, doing courtship. That minute, they will do small courtship, small talks. The girl will carry the girl not carry him to her father's house. This is the one that chose me in the parade. That kind of thing. So there's one particular girl, that one I think she'll be doing it. She looks older, so she'll be doing it for years. She'll be very different.
Nobody has picked that one.
Yeah, because she was the one that they did the documentary too. That's how I knew. So she has done, so she walk around, they'll be looking at other people, they'll be picking, they've not picked her. So she said next year she'll try again. So they were subtitling it. So next year I was like, are you serious? So even the men, so they will even dress their child too. It's not as if these kids they are working or they it's just their tradition. Every year they just come out. You just know that every year.
You come outside, you get dressed, you come out.
You might get married next year. So I think when they are like up like that, once they are 20, you are old. So you don't need to go there. If you are 20, I don't think they might want to marry you. You are outdated. The only difference between Indians and Africa is that those ones, they've been prepping the child from when she will be like 5 years. They'll be prepping her for marriage. Prep her. So all she thinks about, except she's nonchalant, she's a very stubborn person, you're like open-minded, and then you see those ones that are very open-minded and have those adventures, they want to explore, they want to see the world. You see those ones running away with,
No, like I said earlier, it works for some people. Some people go into it, they are fine, they are perfect, though. They give birth, they achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. But some people, you bring two people now, two 30-year-olds that got married at a very early age, maybe 13 and 14. And then this person has their own experience to say, oh, it was terrible. I felt like I should kill myself. I committed suicide like 5 times. I did this, I did that. And then you see another person saying that, it has been blissful from the very first day I stepped into that place. So you understand? Everybody have their own experience. Everybody know how they are going to go about it. So
my beautiful co-host, Gift, I just want you to, like, now, what you're trying to say, your take on this, your final take, like, you're in support, or rather, you're against this whole early marriage
what
thing.
I'm saying is not actually being, whether it's a negative thing. What I'm trying to say is that if you are of age and you are ready to get married, whether you are 20, whether you are 21, whether you are 22, whether you are 23, whatever age you are, as long as you feel in your heart that you are ready to get married and this is what you want to do, go for it. If you feel like you can still achieve more things when you are married, go for it. If you feel like you are not going to achieve anything that you have listed in your head that you want to achieve in this life, then you should do whatever you have to do first. Have the whole adventure you want to have, and then you can get married. So that's what.
So, Cynthia,
yeah.
so what's your final take?
My advice is,
So let's start with what's your take generally before you, like,
okay, my
bring
take
up your
is
advice.
I'm against early marriage, and my early marriage is around the range of 14 to 16.
Okay.
I feel like this age, you are 13, you're still in your parents. I think you're still probably in secondary school thinking of what you want to even eat after you come back from school.
Yeah.
So from the ages of 14 to 16, I feel like you shouldn't go to marriage. You might feel like you are mature, you as an individual, you might feel like you are mature enough because, oh, my pair of friends are already out there, people are already taking them and everything. No, if you have a dream to achieve, if you, like what you said, you know that you want to be something in life and your parents are pushing you, go out, look for anybody you can talk to. Cry for help. There are people there, there are organizations that can help you, you know. And then to parents that feel like putting their child up or putting their child out there, you're exposing them to different things that you don't even know. You yourself, when you got married at that age, how did you feel? So think about you putting your child out there. Sometimes it's even ignorance. It's not even about culture. It's not about there's no money or anything. So, because the parents are not well exposed. They don't even know what their children, most of their children, or most of what their friends' children are suffering in that place. Some of them die of diseases. Some of them they give birth, but their life is never normal again.
Yeah, they just.
So I feel like early marriage is a no-no. No parents should support it. Nobody, no guardian. Say, oh, I feel like my daughter is because your daughter looks very big and maybe she's still like 16 or 17, and people are coming and you're entertaining those kind of people, which is not good. Look for what that child wants to do in life. Help that child, support that child. If you don't have it, send them out. Do something. You don't have to sell your children out.
It doesn't have to always end in marriage.
Yes, in marriages there are other things you can do. Put them out to learn how to make different things. Any institution you know that, oh, these people is helping people, children to achieve this in life. You understand? God will help you. That's all I have to say. You don't have to put your child there before you think that the solution is over and the problem is over. No, it's not over. Thank you.
So we've actually heard what they have to say on it, and I believe with whatever they've said, every other person out there listening to us will actually have their own view and try to key into what they have said. And also, we have our comment section where you come and write, put your comments, you air your views, and probably you have any experience or you want the world to know your story in just so that you can educate others or let people know the effects of this or what you've been passing through. You don't have to put your name or anything, but your stories, your comments, and your views, they are all welcome to our program. And we're actually coming to an end to this show, and I'm really thankful for all your love and your attention, and my beautiful co-host here with me. I'm really grateful. You guys did a good job, and I think you guys should just be more on this show. It's like when I go school well. So you can follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen, and also follow us on our YouTube. Click and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Nollywood Television. Nollywood Television, no. So thank you guys. See you next week on another juicy episode on Time Out with XTER. Bye.
Hi guys, you're welcome to Girls Hangout. My name is Sugar, and in this show, we're going to be talking about girls, young girls, basically life around young girls. Well, you know, like early pregnancies, abortions, sex education, gender inequality, and stuff like that. So this show, you get to talk about things basically, share experiences, and also comment, sending your views. And you can get us through on our YouTube channel, yeah, Girls Hangouts. And you can, Girls Hangouts on Nollywood Television. That's our channel. So there you can access us by sending in your comments, your views, your contribution, and also you can share your experiences. You never can tell. There are many people out there that need to actually they want to be heard. They want people to know their story and learn from it. So in this show you have that opportunity to do that. No need for embarrassment or anything. Nobody's going to want to expose or say your name out or try to use you as an example. No. We're going to talk about it because, for Christ's sake, we're all girls, and we also want to relate in other people's story. We want to share in people's stories. So, on today's episode, we're talking about sex education. Well, that's a topic that we need to really talk about because in Nigeria today, or let me say Africa generally, they see sex education, like talking about sex to their kids, as a taboo. That's some serious something. Now, sex education is like educating we all know what sex education is, like educating a child about sexuality, things concerning things. It's actually more like a personal thing because it's something they learn while growing up and they use it to grow up. So in this case now, I have questions, like the questions that I know might be going around people's minds. Should it be taught in schools or in the house, or is it the job of the parents to teach? Well, to me, I feel there's no particular person that has the job to do it. If you're opportune to educate a child about it, wow, sure, you can do it. Both uncles, aunts, guardians, mothers, fathers, teachers too can do it. It's something you should be able to relate to your child, and it is not just for girls alone. But it's looking like parents want to focus it on girls alone. Guys too need to learn about it. But I guess it's like that because I think women are more had more disadvantage when things go wrong. I feel parents should learn to call their children close and relate such topics to them because it's something they will use and grow up. They will learn and they will use it during their life as they're growing up. It's something they will adapt to and know. And also, in cases like this, I notice in the African homes, mothers see it as a taboo. Or maybe their child comes up to them to tell them, mommy, please, what is sex? Yeah, there's this boy that is talking to me. Oh, I don't know what he wants to. He said that stuff like that. They're so naive at that point. And most African parents, what they do the next moment is to scold the child. Like, ah, where did you learn it from? Who taught you? Oh, you started following bad gangs. Haba. You've not even educated the child about it. You've not told the child about it. How else do you expect the child to know what is about? That's why the child came to you as a mother or as a father or as a guardian. So I feel it's something we need to educate our children, tell them, and well, both teachers too are involved in this because I think schools should to adapt the method of teaching kids about it, like having a like a session that talks about sex education. But I think most schools has it as a club in schools. Probably after the school curriculum, they have it aside extracurriculum activities. But also, it's something we need to do more. We need to emphasize on so that parents and kids, while growing up, they will see the advantages of it. Like as you see, so their kids might just come up now and like, Mom, there's this boy that has been talking to me. I don't know what I'm going to tell him. He said he likes me, this, that, stuff like that. So parents, at that point, if a child is being educated about it, trust me, she will know how to handle such situations when it comes to that point. She knows how to handle it. But a child that is naive, that doesn't know anything, comes to you and asks you. The next you start scolding the child, start looking for who to blame, stuff like that. It's not supposed to be like that. It's something we need to understand and relate with our kids so that as they go out there, even peer pressure cannot even influence them to do what they're not supposed to do because you've educated them well. That's why sometimes it's good for parents to have a good relationship with their children. Talk about anything so that whenever there's a problem that comes up with the child will be able to relate with you. And then that's where your advice comes in. You caution them, you tell them what to do and what they're not supposed to do. So, and also another point I would like to bring out is at what age do you think a child should learn this? That is another thing. I feel a child should be able to know about stuff when you know the child has reached that age where she can understand some certain things. You might not really go into so much details while talking to the child. Yes, you might not really go into more details because there's some things you're not supposed to say and there's some things you should say. So in this case, I feel when a girl gets to the age, point of also, but basically because we're actually talking about things concerning girls. That's why I'm emphasizing on girls. So I'm just saying when a girl gets to age of 40, at that point, she's able to relate. She's able to understand. She's able to understand, yes. And also, there's some things you tell her. She has friends. She goes to school. She hears stuff. She hears things. So there's some things you will bring up. There's some things she might have heard in school. And when you talk about it, she's like, oh yeah, I've heard about something like this. That kind of thing. So when they get to that age, you should be able to relate with them, talk about boyfriends, talk about sex, talk about pregnancies, talk about relationships and stuff like that. So that will build her up to shaping her on how she's going to move in life. Like they said, like, okay, let me just bring in the Bible. It said, teach a child in a way that he or she can grow and it will not depart from the child. If you start early in teaching the child stuff like this, it sinks in. the child uses that to grow up. So I think parents should really, really work on these things, this sex education thing, pregnancies, stuff like that, so that their children don't end up making mistakes that they can't even correct anymore. Like some parents now, they'll just leave their child go to school. They just believe at that point it's just read, go to school, do house chores, do what you need to do, and that's it. No, there are other things involved, especially a girl. A girl child is, I feel or I believe a girl child is harder to train than the boys, because the girl child is at higher risk when it comes to sex. The girl is at higher risk than the boy. Now the girl will carry belly, no be the boy. That is one thing we should understand. If your child brings in an unwanted pregnancy, where do you start in correcting the child? The next is not to fall down on the floor and start crying. That is just it. Because you did not start early to teach the child about it. I know of a story of a young girl. This story now is going to show you how ignorant most parents or guardians are. I know it's not easy. Trust me, it's not. But the little things, we should pay attention to them. Parents should learn to pay attention to their children's needs, to little things their children do. From there, you will notice the slightest change in your child. How can you have a child in your house? I think she's around 13 to 14 years, if I'm not mistaken. A girl lives with her parents, I think so, and she was 6 months pregnant when the pregnancy came into, will I say, came into light. Because how can a child be pregnant in the house? You as a mother, because I know most African mothers, even before the moment you miss your period, they will notice. They'll say, Ronke, when last did you see your period? Stuff like that. Those are mothers that naturally they know when they see the slightest change in their child. Okay, how can your child 6 months pregnant? She's living with you under the same roof, and yet you don't even know she was pregnant. There and then the girl on her own went to the toilet and did an abortion. Just like that. Imagine. And when she was taken to the hospital due to excessive bleeding, she was taken to the hospital and the mother started crying. Oh my God, I don't know. How am I supposed to do this one, that one? Because the girl could not even relate such issues to the mother due to how strict or how they've been living, don't have a good talking relationship with her daughter. She can't even relate to her mom that she was pregnant, or probably, okay, let's just say initially when the guy was still like asking her out or trying to talk to her or woo her, she could not even tell her mom. But yet she got pregnant, did the abortion on her own. If not that she had excessive bleeding, trust me, they won't even know that she was pregnant. She put her down, flushed the pikin, case closed. What's man? At the end of the day, in the future, she will definitely have complications. That's when you start saying, what did your past life, you lived like this, you lived like that, or some cases of where you cannot even conceive anymore. So these are the things we need to look forward to, we need to talk about. We need to come together and understand and teach the children, the young girls. For me, from where I grew, my mom did not teach me. I learned it on my own. And to an extent, due to my siblings, I have elder siblings too, that also I look up to. My mom did not teach me. My dad did not teach me. I learned it on my own. I met with friends. I went to schools, secondary schools, university, stuff like that. You learn a lot of things during school days. So things like that. So because of if you ask a typical Nigerian, she'll say, home training will not allow us to do some certain things. You get? So let's just say I had that home training that was really firm. My mom was disciplined us in a way that when we see something that is bad, we tend to draw back. So that's basically it. It's not like she actually taught us about it. And I have an elder sister. I have cousins that are way older than me. So I get to hear stuff when they're gisting, when they're talking, and sometimes they're like, see, Esther, when you grow up or when you reach certain stage, don't do this, don't do that. That's also a form of education, sex education. They might not come out clean or come out straight to tell me that I'm actually telling you this one because but they're actually using their own experiences to teach me. So in that way, I was able to learn some certain things. And also with friends, I watch the internet nowadays shows a lot of things. So with that, I get to educate myself on my own. Many of us out there, we are it's the same, we are in the same line. Many of us, our parents didn't even teach us. You understand? We had to learn it on our own. So in this case, I implore all parents, please find a way to talk to your child, have a good relationship with your child. Like now, when a girl like her first period, a girl starts seeing her first period, the first thing you see, you have seen your period. Hey, don't allow boy touch you. Don't talk to boy. Don't even greet them. Immediately they touch you, you will get pregnant. See me. I'm an example. That is that my auntie. That one, the first day I saw my period, that was the first thing she told me. This you're not a big girl, oh. This one, but don't talk to boy, oh. Don't do this, oh. Don't let them touch you. For Christ's sake. For instance, I cannot be going out and I'll say I don't want to talk to anybody. It's not possible. So you can imagine, it's something that you guys can just call your child and explain some certain things she needs to know. Because you might not tell her everything. Don't get me wrong. You might not really tell her everything. You can just call her, talk to her, tell her stuff she needs to know. And there's some things you might mention. She would have experienced it one way or the other. She has heard of it. So with that, she'll be able to have an idea of what you're trying to say. Because along the line, as she's growing up, she's learning a lot of things. She's meeting people. People get to do stuff where she sees what they're doing. And like that, like